Aloha there, and oh, just need to keep some moving here. Actually, do another take. 1, 2. Aloha there, and we are going to read about the solar calendar, pretty much calendars in general. Last time it was about leap years, but now we leaped into calendars in general. Makes sense. We have to understand what leap years are important calendars if we don't know about calendars. So here's the history, the background information, the encyclopedia from Wikipedia about calendars. Also, I'm starting to see that this lighting here is actually becoming a little fickle, so let me actually fix that for a second. Out of everything, this actually fixes it, so it's always quite annoying trying to see how to best play. Okay. A solar calendar is a calendar whose dates indicate the season or almost equivalently the apparent position of the sun relative to the stars. The Gregorian calendar, widely accepted as a standard in the world, is an example of a solar calendar. The main other type of calendar is a lunar calendar whose months correspond to cycles of moon phases. The months of the Gregorian calendar do not correspond to cycles of the moon phase. The Egyptians appear to have been the first to develop a solar calendar using a fixed point, the annual sunrise reappearance of the dog star Ceres or Sothis in the eastern sky, which coincided with the annual flooding of the Nile River. They constructed a calendar of 365 days, consisting of 12 months of 30 days each, with 5 days added at the year's end. The Egyptian failure to account for an extra function of a day, however, caused their calendar to drift gradually into error, meaning that the calendar tends to have its own issues, just like the good old Gregorian calendar when it comes to needing a leap year. Okay, I'm actually determined to see that it actually is lighting. Like here, it's already fixed, but once I turn up a bit more, besides the flashes, it also starts brightening, which is strange. But I digress. There's all these things here, and here are the examples. The oldest solar calendars included the Julian calendar and the Coptic calendar. They both have a year of 365 days, which is extended to 366 once every 4 years without exception. So have a mean year of 365.25 days. As solar calendars become more accurate, they evolved into two types. Tropical solar calendars. If the position of the Earth in orbit around the Sun is reckoned with respect to the equinox, the point at which the orbit crosses the celestial equator, then it dates accurately indicate the seasons. That is, they are synchronized in the declination of the Sun. Such a calendar is called a tropical solar calendar. Strange thinking about that. Actually, you know what? It could be the lighting. Actually good, or no, there's a bit too much light. There should be light. Alrighty. If the position of the Earth is in orbit around the Sun, reckon with the respective equinox. Yeah, I already got that. To the tropical solar calendar, citation needed. Alright. The duration of the mean calendar year of such a calendar approximates some form of the tropical year, usually either the mean tropical year or the vernal equinox year. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so they actually do vary. Strange. The following are tropical solar calendars: ancient Armenian calendar, Gregorian calendar, Bengali calendar, national and official calendar in Bangladesh, Iranian calendar, Tabarian calendar, Indian national calendar. Hmm. So it seems like it varies. It varies. It always varies depending on what place you are. Every one of these calendars has a year of 365 days, which is occasionally extended by adding an extra day to form a leap year. A method called intercalation, they insert a day between intercalary. The Iranian calendar always begins the year on the vernal equinox, and sets its interstellar days so that the following year also begins on the vernal equinox. The moment of the vernal equinox in the northern hemisphere is determined as at Tehran by means of astronomical computations from reliable sources. End quote. There's also the sidereal solar calendars. If the position of Earth, see above, is reckoned with respect to the fixed stars, then the dates indicate the zodiacal con- constellation near which the sun can be found. A calendar of this type is called a sidereal solar calendar. The mean calendar year of such a calendar approximates the sidereal year, leaping from one lunation to another, but one sidereal year is the period between two occurrences of the sun as measured by the star's solar calendar, which is derived from the Earth's orbit around the sun every 28 years. Indian calendars like the Hindu calendar, Tamil calendar, Bengali calendar, not revised, and Millennium calendar are sidereal solar calendars. The Thai solar calendar, when based on the Hindu solar calendar, was also a sidereal calendar. They are calculated on the basis of the apparent motion of the sun through the 12 zodiacal signs rather than the tropical movement of the Earth. Alrighty. Alright, let me actually double check. Okay, yeah, there's just no pictures. Also, this article has multiple issues. Please also improve it by discussing this. The article needs additional citations, and the article may be too technical for most readers to understand. You don't have to just say that. Alrighty. Now we're on to the non-solar calendars. The Islamic calendar, which is purely lunar calendar and has a year whose star drifts through the seasons, and is not a solar calendar. The Maya Suskin calendar, which follows a 260-day cycle, has no year. Therefore, it's not a solar calendar. Also, any calendar synchronized only to the syndical period of Venus would not be solar. Alright, then there's the lunar calendars. Lunar calendars Lunar calendars are lunar calendars that have additional intercalational rules to roughly synchronize the solar year and the seasons. Typical lunar solar calendars have years marked with a whole number of lunar months, so they cannot indicate the position of the Earth relative to the Sun with the same accuracy as a purely solar calendar. And then you have a lot more. So non-solar calendars along with lunar solar. This section needs expansion. This section needs expansion. But so it looks like there's not much into this article, but it talks more about these calendars. I could delve on to these after the article, and then maybe leap years. But anywho, looks like it's the time for me. Furthermore, aloha.